Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Dialing In. This time it's a Pod Go edition. Although I guess you could recreate this preset on your Helix or HX Stomp with the settings I show you today. Although I have done previous video for the Helix version of this, but I wanted to do this today simply because late last week or middle of last week, I can't remember exactly what day it was, the fine folks at Line 6 had released Firmware 1.21 for our Pod Go, and it brought a lot of wonderful features. I did a video about it, kind of doing a quick rundown on how to update and also some of those new features. But one of my favorite new features in this update, as was one of my favorite new features in the Helix 3.0 firmware, is the US Princess amp model. What a beautiful amp model. Sounds just gorgeous. I am going to have a free preset from today's video that I'm going to do a dialing in for in just a moment, but I'm also, at the time that this video posts, I'm also going to have my new Line 6 Marketplace US Princess Pod Go preset, which is a 4-snapshot preset ranging from clean all the way up to a lead tone with a few effects and kind of some bells and whistles in there. This will be kind of a stripped down version of that. So later I'll give you a little snippet of what that preset from the Marketplace sounds like in a mix. But for now, let's dive into this and see if we can get this sounding kind of cool. So here we are over at Pod Go Edit, and I have, a similar kind of a template that I use, although I kind of cut a couple of things I normally use out of this simply because I wanted some room for some more effects. So there is no compressor at the end of this, which, I mean, I really do like it when it's there, but we're not going to have it for this one. So what do I start with? Well, I put my volume pedal at the end. This is something a lot of people ask me about. Why do I put my volume pedal at the end? Well, the volume pedal at the end will just allow me to change the volume of the entire preset without affecting how hard I'm hitting the front of the amp, and it'll also just control the whole preset. If there's delays and reverbs, it'll bring all of that down. But that might not work for some, so you can slide it wherever you want. I do have a little reverb going on here, a hall reverb with these settings: decay of 6, pre-delay of 22 milliseconds, low cut of 166 hertz, high cut of 3 kilohertz, and a mix of 35%. I have a transistor tape delay in there, which folks that watch my videos know I love this delay. It's on with these settings: quarter note for the note sync, feedback of 23%, wow and flutter of 2.1, scales at 100%, spread of 2.3, mix of 27%, that you can turn on and off if you'd like. I'm going to play the preset first with it off. I do have a tilt EQ in here, and a lot of folks might say, why aren't you using the shelf EQ? Well, the problem with the shelf EQ in the Pod Go is the high shelf setting only goes down to 2 kilohertz, and I like to have it down at around 650 for most situations, with the low shelf as well at 650. So the tilt is kind of a nice compromise. I can set the center frequency to 650 hertz, and I've just slid this up to bright 30 setting. All right, and I also really didn't give much thought to this. I threw a Chrome Custom in there because we have to have a wah pedal, but it's not really meant to be a major part of it. There's a couple slots left open if you want to throw an overdrive pedal or something in there yourself for this preset. So here are my settings on the US Princess. First and foremost, I'm using the 110 US Princess cab with an 84 condenser mic, 2 inches back, low cut of 110 hertz, high cut of 9 kilohertz. On the US Princess amp itself, we have drive set at 7, bass at 4, mids at 10, treble at 5, presence down to 0, channel volumes at 8 just to get an output that I wanted. We could actually probably crank that up if we need it. Master at 10, and all these deeper functions I did not touch. So if we turn off, whoop, that was already off, the delay, reverb, and the shelf EQ, make sure our volume is at full. This is the sound we get from just the amp and that cab combination. I'm on the neck pickup on my Vigier Expert Retro 54 guitar. If I go to the bridge pickup, So a really nice core amp tone with nothing else on it. Now, one of the things that I really like to do to bring this to life, like I said, is either add these high and low shelf EQs, but in this case, using the tilt EQ. So here's the tone again without the tilt EQ. Let's turn the tilt EQ on. For any of those who haven't watched my previous videos, all the tilt EQ is picks a center frequency, and in the way I have it, if we tilt it bright, it just moves all the frequencies above 650 hertz up while moving all the frequencies below down a little bit. So a little can really go a long way, and what you'll hear here is it just kind of gives a little bit of brightness and brilliance to the sound, takes out a little bit of the mud. If you find it still too muddy and dark, you could inch this up even more. I had settled on around 30 because that was actually sounding kind of nice in the mix that I was using it with, but. All right, so I was happy with that. Now, if I come over and add this hall reverb, and I really find that brings this to life a lot. Ah, there it is. So a few different pickup selections on that to hear what it sounds like. And then I can bring this delay in if I really want to kind of make it a little more lush. Bad note in there. Okay, so that's sounding kind of nice to me now. So that's basically the preset I'll have up on CustomTone for the new Line 6 PodGo firmware. But I also have this preset being used, the same preset, just a 4-snapshot version of it, and a couple effects added in as well, so much more full-featured preset. And if you want to hear what that sounds like in a mix, give this a listen. So there you have it. That's how my Line 6 Marketplace US Princess Pod Go preset sounds in the mix with some of the various snapshots. But this one here that I dialed in today will be up for free on CustomTone right now. If you'd like to go grab it, load it up, play with it, add some effects to it, you know, tweak the tilt EQ to match your system if you want a little bit darker or brighter, or however you feel you like it. And if you really like it, go grab my version from the Line 6 Marketplace, which is just under my name there. I'll have the link below to that, and it's the US Princess Pod Go preset. So thank you guys all so much for tuning in. I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys enjoy the preset from CustomTone as much as I am enjoying playing it and as much as I enjoyed making it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please like the video, share it with anybody who you think would get use out of it or enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out. I'll be back really soon with some more. Thanks so much for tuning in. Ciao for now.